Okay, so in the previous video we created the ceiling here for the inside of the building. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to create a roof for the outside. We have to basically finish this off and make some continuous geometry here. Even though we're never going to see the outside roof, we're still going to need it in terms of lighting and rendering, and it'll be very useful if we create it. Plus it'll be a good chance to show you how to create it since we are dealing with a modeling tutorial here. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is realize that I have some polygons hidden away. It's time to bring back all the polygons that I've previously hidden. So let me go to polygon mode. Let me go to the visibility menu of the graphite modeling tools and hit unhide all, and there's all my hidden polygons. Okay, what I'm basically going to do is create an outside roof, and I'm going to connect it to the opening here of the ceiling to pretty much seal this off and make it a continuous surface. Alright, so let's go ahead and do that now. The easiest way for me to do that is going to be to go to border mode, that's 3 on the keyboard, and select the outside border on the top of the roof here of the outside walls. Now, you should have selected just the top edges right there, and as you can see, that isn't the case for me. I have this one edge here which is highlighted in red, which is telling me that it's an open edge. And if I go to views and turn on X view again and activate open edges, I can reconfirm that this is a green edge, which is not good. It's telling me that it's open. So let me go to vertex mode and just pull that out, and there it is. Okay, so to fix that is actually going to be pretty easy. Just go to see-through mode here. I'm going to drag select on top of that vertex because there's 2 vertices there, and I can see in the modify tab over here it says 2 vertices selected. Then I'm going to go to weld options, and I can see that it says before 528, after 527. So those 2 vertices now became 1. So I'll hit OK, and it looks like there might be an open edge down here as well, and there is, because you notice that the edge stayed green. So I'll drag select on top of these vertices down here, and it says again there's 2 vertices selected down there. So I know there's 2 trying to hide from me down there, trying to pull a fast one on me. So I'll go to weld options again, and it tells me before 527 vertices, now it's 526. So I'll hit OK, and now that green edge turns white, and that's a good thing because it tells me that that open edge is now sealed off. Okay, so I'll go back to border mode. I'll select the top edge there. Let me turn off see-through mode, and I can see now that I have the correct border edges selected. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to extrude those up. So just pull them up like this. Doesn't matter how far up. We're about to fix that right now. And I'm going to come over here, go to edge mode, select that edge there to try to figure out what its height is. If I open up the transform type into, I can see that the height is about 22 feet 12 inches, which translates to 23 feet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to border mode, select that border of edges right there again. Okay, and I'm going to place the Z at 23 feet, and there we go. Alright, so if I go to the front view and I view this in wireframe mode, I can see that all of the edges, all of the geometry up there is lined up perfectly at 23 feet. So I'll go back to perspective view, get out of wireframe mode, and there we go. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to seal off the roof up here, and the quickest and easiest way that I can do that is by simply going to the quad menu and hitting the cap command. And when I hit cap, it's just going to go ahead and fill that entire top part with one solid polygon. Okay, now what I need to do is create basically some geometry where I can punch a hole through the roof here so that I can actually see through my ceiling, because if I come inside, I can see that even though I deleted the previous polygon here that was in the skylight, it's sealed off now by the roof polygon, this massive roof polygon right here that I've created. Okay, I'm going to turn off X view, by the way. I'm going to right click on top of that and uncheck open edges to turn it off. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to build some geometry up here. Okay, if I go to see-through mode, I can see that I have an edge right here that I can connect to this edge that's over here. Okay, so I have the opposite is true over here. I have this edge right here with a vertex and this edge here with a vertex as well. So what I'm going to do is pretty simple. I'm going to go to vertex mode. I'm going to go to the quad menu. I'm going to use the cut tool. And I'm going to basically connect that vertex there to the one that's in the back over there. Okay. And I'm going to do the same over here on this side to create some nice geometry there for myself. Okay. Now this edge here, I'm going to get rid of. Control backspace to get rid of it. That way it gets rid of its vertex as well. Okay, perfect. Now what I'm going to do is let's go back to, it could be vertex mode or edge mode, doesn't really matter. And I'll go and use the cut tool again. And I'm going to make a cut from that new edge to this new edge. And another cut, again, on the opposite side. And you can probably see what I'm doing. I'm basically setting up what's going to be a polygon to punch a hole through the roof here. Okay? Alright? So the rest is pretty easy. All I have to do is go to vertex mode. And I could snap those vertices here, but here's a better, faster way. I'm going to select that new polygon that's in the middle there. I'm just going to delete it. This is going to work out a lot better. I'm going to go to edge mode, activate the target weld tool, and I'm going to go ahead and target weld. A little bit difficult to see here, but I'm going to target weld that new edge to the edge right there of the ceiling, of the hole that's in the ceiling. And I'm going to do the same for the opposite side there, and perfect. There we go. We have a nice, perfect hole right there to the roof. If we go inside the house here, we can now see outside to the imaginary sky that would be in the background. Perfect. Excellent. Okay, now with that done, let's go ahead and create basically a window frame here. Now I could create a window frame by coming in here and just using some polygons and extruding and basically modeling it out by hand, which I could do, but it's going to take a little bit longer than if I did it another way. And the other way that I'm going to use is I'm going to go to the Create tab over here. I'm going to switch from Standard Primitives to Windows, and I'm going to select a fixed window. Okay? And I could create a fixed window that's going to fit right here in this hole. Let's turn on snaps. I'll create the window like so. Snap it there. But if you look at this, let me pull this up just so you can see. Let me turn off snaps. It created the window incorrectly. It thinks the window is like this. The glass is right here facing us. So it basically created it with the wrong orientation. So let's delete that. Now let's see how we can fix that. To fix that problem, what we need to do is go ahead and click on Fixed to create it. And down here under the Creation Method Parameter Rollout, we have two options. The default option is to create this based on the width, then the depth, then the height. What we want to do is switch it to width, height, and depth. Okay? Let's turn snaps back on. Let's try this again. Let's snap from this vertex here in the corner. Click and drag to this vertex. Then I'm going to select this vertex that's over here, and then the vertex that's hidden down right there. Okay? Might take you a couple of practice shots to get that right, but once you get it, you realize how much faster and easier this method was. Now I have a window here, and we basically created it the same way that we created our other windows in a previous video. So this was able to snap onto that hole and fit perfectly. Okay? Now let me go to the Modify tab here. Now you don't have to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and do this. We can actually come in here and modify the frame size. What I'm interested in is keeping the frame. I don't care about the glass. I'm going to get rid of it. What I want is the frame. Okay, so I can change the thickness here of the frame. And then we can take this inside frame called the rails and panels, and we can change the width right there to make that a little bit wider, which I'm going to do. I'm going to make it maybe I'll make it 4 inches, just to use a nice even number there. Nice and clean. Okay, so I'll use something like that. And it really doesn't matter how we do this. Really up to you. I'm not going to use any panels there. Okay, and I'm going to say I'm happy with that. Okay, once I'm happy with the frame, I'm going to go ahead and go in my quad menu and convert this to an editable poly. And what that allows me to do is actually select the window polygons to delete them. But instead of using polygon mode, because there's several polygons, see here in the front and the back, what I can do instead is go to element mode, which is 5 on the keyboard, and it's represented here in the modify tab by this sort of red cube shape, and select the glass right there. And if we hit delete, the entire glass piece is now deleted in one shot, which is a lot faster than selecting it by individual polygons. So now we have this sort of window frame there that's going to serve as the frame of our skylight. Okay? Alright, so we're finished with this video here. We've got this part done. In the next video, we're going to actually go ahead and create the skylight. I'm going to show you a neat trick to create the skylight frame geometry very quickly and very, very easily.